water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Wait, hold on. I'm being told I have the wrong Avatar. I don't know. Sounds pretty similar to me. Anyway, we're here to talk Avatar, Fire and Ash, the third entry in the billion-dollar franchise from James Cameron. Will this one make $2 billion like the last two? How does it compare to those? We'll be answering those questions and more on a new episode of Watch, Review, Repeat, which begins now. Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following episode. My name is Colton Brown. Joining me on Pandora for the third time, it's Andrew Meadows. Yeah, it's a vaguely cat-like noise, which is an approximately Navi sound, right? I guess that's.
Or I could say,
is that what you're going
"What's up,
for?
bro? What's going on, bro?
Hey,
What's
man.
going on, cuz?
Hey, cuz. Hey, bro. Yeah, well, we probably did that a lot in the last episode, and thankfully, preview of coming attractions. There's a little bit less of that on the movie that we're covering on this episode. So maybe we should keep it to a minimum on this episode, bro. Doesn't mean we have to excise it entirely. We couldn't learn that lesson. We couldn't just go back and edit it out for the third movie 3 years later. No. We got to keep some in, continuity purposes. But yes, we are here talking about Avatar, Fire and Ash. People hadn't picked up on that from all the context clues that we had been giving. The noise, I think, probably should have been enough. But yeah, it's the third Avatar movie. James Cameron, I was going to say cannot escape the Avatar franchise, but it's of his own doing, actually. So he just can't help himself, I think, is probably the better way of putting it.
I think to quote him, he makes movies that puts asses in seats or something like that, right?
That sounds like something he would say or probably has said and probably has said multiple times. And well, so far he's not wrong. We'll talk about whether Avatar, Fire and Ash is maybe bucking that trend, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We've got lots of things to talk about on this episode. But yeah, this is the final piece of our 2025 content, I guess we'll say. We're coming to it about probably a month after it came out. I think it came out in December, a little bit before Christmas. We're recording the end of January. This should be up probably early February, unless we go for, I don't know, 3-4 hours in true James Cameron style, in which case it will take a little bit longer to edit, and we'll see how it goes. I joke, but we did just put up an episode that was 3+ hours long, and Stranger Things 5. However, we had a pretty good excuse. We did have company. We had our friends from Ink to Film join us for that episode. So if anyone hasn't had a chance to listen to that, would definitely recommend. I mean, you can stop at spoilers if you haven't watched Stranger Things 5, but definitely worth it to hear James and Luke from Ink to Film join us. It was a really, really, really fun time having them, and we went for a good while. We turned that thing into a James Cameron-sized episode for sure. Jimmy C would approve. No cuts necessary. We will not be doing the same thing here, hopefully, knock on wood. Even though we are covering a 3+ hour film, I think that we can certainly do this in less time than that, but we will see. We may have a lot to say about Avatar, Fire and Ash. We may. We'll see.
Or we may have said it before. I don't know.
Maybe we'll have some similar thoughts as the last time we talked about Avatar, roughly 3 years ago when The Way of Water came out. Yeah, and we of course wouldn't have been able to cover the very first Avatar because it came out many years before we started the podcast. But I'm sure we've said things about it here and there if I had to speculate. Yeah. So what's going on with Avatar: Fire and Ash? We are going to get into it momentarily. I do have a couple more housekeeping things that we will address first, and then we will be diving right into it as we do with these episodes, as we do now with these episodes. But this will be the last little bit of 2025 content. It will not be the end of our 2025 coverage because, of course, we're going to be doing our year in review episode next, in which case we'll be talking about lots of things from 2025 that we watched, and maybe Avatar: Fire and Ash will be in the conversation somewhere. I don't know. It's certainly possible. I don't want to get ahead of myself, though, so we'll just have to check in and see how we feel about it. Another thing to note, obviously, Stranger Things 5 was the last thing that we recorded in sequence for us, but it is not the most recent episode on the feed. The bonus episode that we did on 300 Rise of an Empire is on the regular feed now as well. That one is definitely shorter than the Stranger Things 5 coverage. That one clocked in at under an hour and a half, which is good stuff.
Incredible.
Good
Two
stuff.
Movies.
Really good stuff. 2 movies. Hey, by that logic, we should be able to do this one in under an hour. We'll see how it goes. We didn't have the other sections. That was just a true bonus episode. Two movies. Say nice things about one, less nice things about the other, and then get out of there. It's not so bad. But it was a fun episode to record on, and fun revisiting or visiting for the first time, I guess, those movies potentially for us. So definitely would recommend people check that out. And something that we set up on that, this is my final piece of housekeeping, and I'm going to give it over to Andrew because he's got something special lined up for you guys. For anyone that listens to that episode, we started a segment called, I guess, Mythology Trivia. I don't know if we gave it an official name, actually, now that I think about it. But it's sort of taking the place of fun facts in a way. We'll have a little fun fact on Avatar, nothing too extensive, but the idea being, as we'll get to in another episode that we'll be recording in the near future, our a look ahead episode. We've got a big movie coming out this summer by the name of The Odyssey, and I know Andrew's feeling pretty hyped for it. Got a trailer for it that we're going to be talking about on that episode. I think in the spirit of, The Odyssey coming out this year and leading up to that, Andrew, I think, had the decision that we should do some Greek mythology trivia, for our listeners, for me to get wrong, as I did on that 300 bonus episode in very embarrassing fashion. So I'm here to...
Oh, stop it.
I'm here to get my shit together. But anyway... And that's kind of what's going on. That's what's been happening, and that's kind of what's about to happen is this mythology trivia. So if you've got something lined up for me, for the listeners, then I'm all ears.
So yeah, this mythology trivia, I've tried to, as I said in a previous episode, I was given this gift of this game,
Mm-hmm.
And what I've tried to do is I've tried to pull out all the Greek mythology stuff, and a good chunk of this stuff is present in the Odyssey.
Okay. Okay.
So so tonight's question is actually pulled straight from the Odyssey.
Ooh, okay. I haven't seen it yet. How am I supposed to know?
Well, maybe you read a book at some point. I don't know.
We'll find out.
I listened to the book. I don't know if I ever read it. I'm sure we did it in high school.
Maybe I read a Wikipedia article at some point in my life. We'll find out.
Boom. Hey. But in Homer's Odyssey, Scylla and
pronunciation.
Charybdis.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Scylla and Charybdis are what kind of monsters?
Oh boy.
Which I guess this isn't really necessarily accurate. This question is not, or the answer is, I feel kind of not accurate, but either way, it's Charybdis and Scylla are the name of the two monsters. What type of monsters do you think those are?
What type of monsters are they? Hydras. I don't know.
They are. This says they're sea monsters.
Okay.
Odysseus finds them while traversing the sea.
Oh, is it like a Kraken type thing?
one's a whirlpool.
Okay.
So Charybdis is going to be the whirlpool, and Scylla is like a cave dwelling snake monster that lives on the side of the mountain in the pass.
Okay.
So he's like driving he's bringing his boat in between these two monsters, and he has to make a choice on if you go too close to the whirlpool, it sucks into the boat.
Pull you in. Okay, right.
Or you essentially sacrifice men to the monster that's hanging to the wall, the cliff wall, right? And by my quick look up, it was supposed to be, I guess it's a narrow strait, the Strait of Messina between Italy and Sicily. Is what this thing is, where these two creatures are supposed to have lived many moons ago. So there you go. We can expect to see Odysseus encounter Scylla and Charybdis at some point.
Okay.
In the movie. How about that?
I feel like now we're getting to the point now that I have more information where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that in Percy Jackson now. Okay, yeah, because I think it comes up in the second book, which is aptly titled Sea of Monsters.
Okay.
So and I read that probably last year, but we're going back a ways. I recognize the names, but it's just not. Well, I did better, but not,
you know what?
great,
And I didn't do it right either. You had multiple choices here. It was sea monsters, giants, witches, or dragons.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
so I didn't really throw you a bone there.
Yeah, but when you did say
sea
sea monsters, it kind of clicked into place, though. So maybe that would have helped, but
maybe it would
no
have
guarantees.
Helped, yeah.
Who's to say? I'll say that it would have helped, but I don't know that for a fact. Either way, I learned something, or at the very least, my memory was refreshed on something that maybe was in the recesses somewhere. But I'll remember it come June or July, whenever the Odyssey comes out. Should probably figure that out. But hey, if you want to find out when it comes out, number one, Google it, or number two, listen to our 2026 A Look Ahead episode in a few weeks if you're okay with waiting. If you're okay with waiting for that.
There's probably a few movies to know, but you certainly should know that one.
Tie on the list. Yeah, keep it on your radar. All right. Are you ready to talk about Avatar, Fire and Ash?
Yes, I'm ready to dive right in.
It's playing in theaters right now. It is written by James Cameron, Rick Jaffa, and Amanda Silver, directed by James Cameron. Stars Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Una Chaplin, Kate Winslet, Britton Dalton, and Jack Champion. Jake and Neytiri's family grapples with grief while encountering a new aggressive Na'vi tribe, the Ash people, who are led by the fiery Varang as the conflict on Pandora escalates. So we've got, I guess, a couple things here. Fun fact and box office breakdown before we fully get into the non-spoilers. I'm going to treat them as... Well, the fun fact I'll quickly say, which I found very funny, is that on Wikipedia, I got to find it. On Wikipedia, it notes that the release... so this was released December 19th, 2025. That's a fact. That's not that fun. The fun part of it is that was the, I think, 9th release date that it received in
God
total.
Dang.
It has been delayed quite often. So originally dated for December of 2015 and then pushed to 16, 17, 18, and then to 2020. And we know how that went. And then 2021. And then it was going to be 2023. And then we got some strikes and all that stuff and so forth. And so, hey, 2025, we finally made it. Of course, it's the third movie. We did get The Way of Water, I think December of 22. So, it's not like we haven't had any Avatar things in our lives since then. But I found that fucking hilarious. Just insane. So my box office breakdown.
Womp, womp, womp.
Box office breakdown. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is a $1 billion franchise. So far, it's been a multi-billion-dollar franchise, I guess I'll say, at least as far as the first two entries are concerned.
Each film produced over $1 billion.
Correct.
Is that what you mean to say?
Over $2 billion, actually, for each of the first
Each film is a multi-billion-dollar film.
Each film, yes. The franchise collectively also is, I guess, by extension, a multi-billion-dollar franchise. But each film has produced $2+ billion, leading up to Fire and Ash. So the first Avatar clocked in at tallied up, I guess maybe is the better way of putting it, $2.7 billion.
God dang.
Give you a Dr. Evil fucking pinky for that shit.
And that was the first film to clock over $1 billion, wasn't it?
That's a good question. Probably first over 2 billion at a minimum. I don't know about a solid billion that probably had been hit before. They were going back to 2009 for that. I don't know. There's
before Avengers and stuff, right?
Let's find out. First $1 billion. Well, it's the AI overview, but no. So there's definitely been movies prior to Avatar that had $1 billion.
Okay.
But at least one of the first ones, if not maybe the literal first one, was another James Cameron flick by the name of Titanic.
That don't count. That shit was in theaters for a year.
But people were fucking seeing that shit, man.
I guess it got right. I guess
it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been in theaters so long if people stopped going. You know,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what happens. But yes, I think Endgame might technically be like the highest grossing film of all time. Although there's the Chinese animated movie that's like made stupid fucking amounts of money, even though it has like no audience traction in America. I don't know. Either way. Lots of movies making lots of money. Avatar amongst them. $2.7 billion for that first one. The Way of Water came out, as I said, in 2022. Had a shorter run than Titanic in theaters, but a very successful run. Brought in $2.3 billion. So those first two Avatar movies were incredibly impressive at the box office. And I think the second one, for me, was honestly a bit of a surprise. I mean, it did fall off the first one, but like when you're making over $2 billion, like, okay, you know what I mean? Like no one's going to be like upset about the fact that it didn't quite hit the high mark, the high water mark that the first one set. I didn't know if there was going to be this, massive audience still waiting for Avatar. It really just felt like Avatar was going to be a thing of its time, the 3D era, and just like hitting at the kind of the right time where, theaters were booming a lot more than they certainly are now, or certainly, have been post-COVID. And yet The Way of Water was kind of, a prime example that like the right thing people will come back for. And people came back for it. And so the question is now, all right, you had a 13-year gap between Avatar and Avatar 2. Now between 2 and 3, now we're talking about a 3-year gap. What really happens
pushing
now?
It.
What happens now? And so far the answer appears to be people will still see it, but maybe not everyone that saw the last one. And so we are, of course, only a month into its run right now, so it's hard to fully grasp where it's going to end. But I think there's a very good chance that the $2 billion streak has come to an end. However, it has made over $1 billion. In fact, outside of North America alone, it has made over $1 billion, which is pretty fucking incredible. So clearly this franchise has had some great success overseas, and certainly in the Americas too. It's doing just fine. It's close to $400 million domestically. So right now it's sitting at like close to $1.4 billion worldwide. Again, we're a month in. It's got time to expand on that, to build on that, but I don't know that it's going to have quite enough legs to generate another 600 plus million, another 600 plus million.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't know if that's going to happen. That seems unlikely. But it's making a fuck ton of money, and obviously I'm sure it cost quite a bit of money. The reported budget is $350 to $400 million just for the budget. I don't know exactly how the math's there because, a lot of this movie was shot at the same time as its predecessor. So I don't know if those budgets are commingled in some ways, or if that's like, no, we spent $800 million on 2 movies. I don't know exactly how that works. But James Cameron has basically said, like, the future of Avatar is very much dependent on the success of, Fire and Ash, in the sense that, like, it's not a foregone conclusion that we will get 4 and 5. We will only get 4 and 5 if 3 justifies 4 and 5 existing.
Does 1.5 billion yeah, of course it does.
I would think that's good enough. I mean, if I'm Disney, if I'm Fox, or 20th Century Studios, because I guess they're not Fox now, whatever. Like, hey,
you gonna give me another 300 to make 1.5? Yeah.
Like, I get, on one hand, like, I don't know, I get it. It's not $2 billion, or maybe it won't be, or maybe it'll fall short in some ways. But I don't know. To me, I'm like, I understand you're spending a shit ton of money on something like this, but even if you go with the rough math of doubling your budget and then everything after that is profit, like, you're doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, it's that, not like the profit alone is enough to budget another, 2 movies of these, I would think. So,
it's not like we're talking $2 million and then $2 million budget, doubling it, and you've made $2 million. We're talking orders of magnitude. I mean,
scale that up by an absurd amount, of course. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're going to get Avatar 4 and 5. I think what we could see is a bigger gap between releases, because I think that, a lot of this movie had been shot and was, they had to finish it. They had to, do the effects and all that stuff. But 2 and 3 were very much made in tandem. And I think the idea would be to do 4 and 5 the same way. But I don't know. I think also for James Cameron's mental health, maybe it might be good to, like, I don't know, pull off the gas just a little bit for a little while. But the man, I think.
How old is he?
Well, he's probably in his 70s at this point, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
71, so low 70s, not bad, not too bad. He's still got some gas in the tank.
No, and it seems like he's in good health too.
He's not really scotting out there. We can say that. I think before we fully get into this movie, he's definitely not quite reached that point in his career. But yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I'm sure we'll come back to, hey, what would you want to see out of Avatar 4 and 5? Do you want to see an Avatar 4 and 5? Maybe an important question. But before we get there, of course, we need to talk about the third one, Avatar Fire and Ash, in which we will have perhaps a similar conversation to what we had when we talked about the second one, Avatar: The Way of Water. But I leave it to you to steer the conversation. What'd you think, Avatar Fire and Ash?
Avatar Fire and Ash.
This is your viewing experience too, because this is a big technical, sort of thing. So that's probably important to think about too.
I had intentions of watching this movie in Dolby on like a Wednesday. Ended up working late. And because the movie's 3 hours, I get out of work at 6. It's about a 30-minute drive, 30 to 45-minute drive to a Dolby theater, or even a regular theater for that matter. It's kind of a split between the two theaters I have an option, the two AMCs I have an option to go to.
Right.
And so I ended up working about an hour late. Well, that's going to push me. Well, the showtime wasn't available, but even if it was available, it's going to push me home way too late after the movie's over, by the time you get through trailers and this and that. So, out of the question, I had to push it off till Thursday. Thursday rolls around. I work an hour late again. I'm like, fuck. I still can't go see it. And then Friday we leave for Disney. And we're gone from Disney we're in Disney from Friday, Saturday, and we go home on Sunday. We get home on Sunday. I'm like, we're exhausted. When we go to Disney, we party kind of hard, and plus on top of walking the parks and everything else. So it's usually. It's usually
that's the day of rest, I would assume.
Exactly. Yeah, we get back home, we relax. You know what I mean? I don't think we even really unpack the luggage a whole lot. We just kind of like veg on the couch. The kids take a nap time, and we take a nap too. That's the way it usually goes on our Disney weekends. But we got back home.
You had to do something for the listeners. You had to see Avatar Fire and Ash. So you had.
I did. Yes.
Yeah,
So I pulled what is it? Pulled up my bootstraps or whatever the fuck they say.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, first I looked up showtimes for Monday and Tuesday, and because
maybe I could retain my day of rest and then just do it on a Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. But that was not an
doesn't hurt to
option
look.
because we had waited too long.
Oh man,
The show times had gotten down to where like they were 1 or 2 a day, and the some of them that were available were good times, but they were also 3D, and 3D would fuck me because I only got one eye.
Yeah,
so it's not an option.
We don't need another Screen X type experience.
No,
Wicked for Good.
so I was really I got to the point where I was really limited, which looks bad on the legs of hitting another 600 million because, like I said, I had 3 showtimes available. Anyways, saw it on Sunday. I saw it at the B&B theaters in just a regular theater.
No
Screen
frills,
X.
fancy, no fancy thing. Okay.
No, I got some recliners,
fare.
and the seat heaters in the B&B theater are banging. Like, they fucking burn your back. Good seat heaters. Got some popcorn, got myself a ginger ale, and sat in for a 3-hour movie after a weekend at Disney. I did not fall asleep.
That was going to be my first question. Was did you end up taking a little siesta at some point? I mean,
everybody was.
You could be
surprised I did
forgiven.
not.
I mean, this is a long movie. You say 3 hours. That's almost underselling it. It's 3 hours and 17 motherfucking minutes, man. Like that's when's the last time? I would say when's the last time you watched something that long? And I think the answer might just be the last Avatar.
The last Avatar, yeah. You might be right. There's a handful of movies I've wanted to watch for catching up, and I've steered clear of them because they're pushing 3 hours. But we dove on this one. You know what I mean? We got to do it. We've seen all of them. And so that long answer is to say that I did not fall asleep in this movie, and I found it interesting enough. Sarah asked me what I thought about the movie, and I said, you know what, this movie was all right. And she goes, just all right? And I said, well, it's all right because it's kind of samey. I feel like I've seen this movie before. It's cool. Like, there's cool stuff that happens in this movie. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about it narratively. Like some of it's cool. Some of it I'm here for. Some of it feels kind of like anime-ish a little bit. Like just feels like cool sci-fi. I don't know. I'm here for some of it. But then it's like retreaded a couple of times. It's like they keep throwing the same narrative at the wall and like manipulating little bits.
I hear you.
Oh, it's maybe they're perfecting the story. And then by 4 and 5, maybe we'll have a movie like a good narrative and then a proper sequel to that narrative. You know what I mean? It's like they keep fiddling with it to try to get it right. Anyways, it's a little samey. It's not the complete same, but I think that it's a very pretty. I think this one's more than a tech demo. I can't say that. This one did. I felt like this one, even though I did not care for, I don't care for Spider. I don't, I think Spider's I really don't care for him at all. I do think that this had a little bit more emotional depth. At least I can't remember exactly what happened in the second one or the first one. But I feel like every other Avatar felt like they were really beautiful tech demos, and I never really identified with much of anything. You know what I mean? This one felt like it had a little bit more substance. What's
interesting, and I hadn't really thought about this. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, it cut me off. It's good.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's not insignificant that you're a family man now, and this is not quite Fast and Furious, levels of being about family.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe you're right.
But it is about, parents and children and, and legacy and generations and stuff like that. I do wonder if that maybe plays a factor into
maybe it does
to your enjoyment level.
Yeah, it definitely could. I never thought about that either. Because I mean that's a large thrust of this particular movie. I imagine it's the same. I feel like it's the same thrust of the last movie.
Definitely the last one too, but and that's what I'm saying. It's like the last one. It's like none of this is really hitting for me, and then this one, it's just like, maybe I kind of get it now. Like I wonder if there's shades of that. And I will say I don't disagree with your assessment of enjoyment levels of the narrative from 2 versus 3, etc. So I think it's not exclusively that. But I don't know.
There might be shades of it for sure. That might be there. I like the villain in this movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I think the I don't know his name. I can't remember the character's name.
Quaritch.
Quaritch. Yeah.
Because
Quaritch was the main villain, right?
He was the human villain in the first one, and then he got resurrected as a sort of Na'vi in the second one, and then he's in this one again too. Yeah.
He was the guy with the knife in the first one?
Right, yes. And then they put it's because it's not quite him. This is spoilers for the second movie, not for this one. / I'm trying to refresh your recollection and
yeah, because I don't remember shit.
Yeah, because they had his,
because it was a different actor.
Waves.
I feel like
it's the same actor, but he's just doing performance capture now, because basically they took all the memories of that, General Quaritch or whatever his fucking title was, and they put him into a Na'vi body. So it's not quite an avatar, because the avatar is, you're piloting a body. Like they just fully programmed a new body. I don't know if they call them like recombinants or something like that. I don't know. There's some sort of fucking avatar name for it and shit. But
instead of cloning him in a human body, they cloned him in a Na'vi body.
Exactly.
Much.
Correct. Yes. Okay. But so, and there's like the open question of, well, and this one explores it too, of like, is he actually Quaritch, or is he just someone that's programmed to be like Quaritch and just has his memories? Like, is there a difference there? Is there a fundamental difference there? Because he's Spider's father, and he's got this, relationship with Jake Sully and stuff. So, there's a whole part of the narrative very much about like what's going on with this fucking guy, which, yeah. I don't, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So while they introduced a new villain, it's no longer the singular guy. And at least as I remember, it's no longer just him anymore.
Right.
And they introduced this other Na'vi. And this Na'vi is...
Yes, that's when I set up Varang. She's like the leader of the Ash people, right?
Yeah. And so she's been like, she's renounced the religion of her people, the
right. She doesn't follow Awa. Who is this the goddess that all the Na'vi that we've met so far, believe in.
Yeah, so she doesn't follow her, like she doesn't fall in line with the rest of her people. Now we're getting some Na'vi, like we saw other tribes with the Na'vi, right. But now we're seeing like
big cultural differences, big
like polar opposite, like cultural stuff within the Na'vi people,
right, yeah.
And I think that's interesting. I'm here for that. That's pretty cool. It all like, and she throws it on Quaritch like hard, you know what I mean? Like she was like seductive and stuff, and like, and and that was interesting to watch. That was, and I don't know. I really like the aesthetic of the Ash people. I think they looked absolutely fucking terrifying. I thought they looked really good. And I appreciated the differences between the Ash people and the Water people now, because the Water people have like they look like Zorons from, not Zorons.
Like the Zora people from
the Zora.
Zelda.
They look like the Zora people from Zelda. Yeah, I got a lot of that in this movie. And then you have the Forest people, We're starting to see this thing set up in this very long, like saga kind of thing. It shouldn't. I feel like it shouldn't take 9 hours to introduce us to the different, like, political landscape or the different factions of the Na'vi people. I feel like it's just meandering. It shouldn't take this long to get invested. But now I'm starting to feel like I'm a little interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah. James Cameron, he was just sowing those seeds.
He's setting a slow fucking hook, a slow, excruciating hook.
Definitely in the slow cooker, and it's gonna be in there for a while.
But what I will say is, it's a beautiful tech demo. I think this has a little bit more substance. I still find the characters kind of hokey at certain points.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think that there's more depth to this one than there was. I can't remember the first one at all at this point, to be honest with you, not hardly at all. Then the second one, I feel like the second one's forgetful too. At least this one, I feel like this one had a little bit more. Even if I thought it was kind of pushing the boundaries of what I find acceptable and borderline kind of stupid, I feel like this one's a little bit more memorable.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And so, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I got. Other than that, though, it's still Avatar. I mean, it is Avatar. It's very long,
as advertised. Yeah.
It's very long. There's some hokey characters, and there's some cool sequences. It's stunning to look at. Yeah, it's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like an Avatar movie with maybe a little extra. I mean, a little something extra, not to, totally undersell it. So you have one advantage over me, and is in that you have seen this far more recently than I have.
That's true. Been waiting for me to watch it for a while.
Well, it's in part that, and it's also in part the fact that I just saw this, I think, over the holiday break. So I think I saw this maybe the first or second of the new year. No, I didn't go on New Year's Day. I think maybe the second or third is probably when we went. We did see it in Dolby 3D. I can't take advantage of the 3D format. Dolby apparently is Jimmy C's recommended choice for seeing it in 3D. This is all information that's probably not helpful for anyone because it's, as you've discovered, not really feasible to watch it in those formats anymore. It's been displaced by things now. But either way, it's a big movie, and I'm sure at some point in its lifetime it will probably be re-released in Dolby IMAX, whatever, etc. So the
Dolby
one thing,
IMAX, they have a Dolby IMAX.
Dolby
IMAX. Okay, fuck, I didn't know that was a thing. Holy shit, that's awesome.
No.
That got me pumped.
No, and the 3D is immaculate. It looks fantastic. I mean, I think obviously a big advantage of so much of the film being computer generated is that it's really, possible to make that the 3D effects really, really seamless and look really good. And I haven't seen a 3D movie in, I can't tell you how long. I mean, I feel like we've kind of gotten more or less past that era of 3D being a huge, component of movies playing in theaters now. I think it was, had its heyday, and then people, I think, kind of got sick of it, and then it kind of just dropped off, and people, I think theaters weren't showing things that way anymore. But whenever Avatar rolls around, it feels like it kind of comes back full swing in some ways. The other thing that this movie does, and I'm almost positive I talked about this when we watched The Way of Water, because I think it was the exact same story. With the Dolby 3D, they do the high frame rate as well.
I remember this now that you say it. Yeah,
and it's in this one too, and it's a mixed bag. It's probably as much of a mixed bag as it was. I think I kind of knew to expect it going in, that it was going to be jarring. The issue isn't so much the use of it, period. The issue is the way that it's integrated and the mixed usage of it, because it's not 48 frames for the whole movie. It's 48 frames for 70% of the movie. And it's not this 5-minute sequence is in 48 frames, and then it's a 2-minute dialogue sequence that's in 24 frames. It's within scenes, it's jarring. It's going back and forth.
Why? Why would they do it that way?
And I don't know. I don't know if it's a technical limitation of how the cameras they're using, or if it's it would cost too much money to fully render it this way. I honestly don't have the answer to that, and I am puzzled by why it's so jarring. It's one of those things when you watch movies shot with IMAX cameras, or like, certain sequences are fully IMAX and then it switches and it's not. And it's like, I kind of get that. There's a technical limitation they're working around. This one, I don't know if it's the same deal. I could understand if that's what it was. But again, you would think it would be like full sequences would be this way, and then it would shift, and then, it would be less jarring if it wasn't like one line of dialogue and then it shifts and then it's 24 frames of someone, doing something for 5 seconds, and then it immediately flips back around to 48 frames. And I'm like, why? Just do one or the other. Right. And this is a non-issue. I'm sure you wouldn't have experienced, like anything in a regular theater.
Well, if it was an issue, if it was, I did not notice it. So
you would have noticed. You absolutely would have noticed. I can guarantee your discerning eye would have seen it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. You get used to it more or less, but you kind of just wonder. Like I see, like you can really see the ability to. Like it doesn't have the quite a soap opera effect the way that like the Hobbit movies did with their HFR usage.
Yeah.
And it's actually really well done. Like I think the flight sequences and like there's a lot of stuff in here that it actually is really, really effective for tracking a lot of things and a lot of moving parts around the screen. Like it does actually give you a lot of extra fidelity. And there's sequences, there's shots where it's like totally unnecessary and adds nothing. But like, I don't know. Just to me, it's got to be an all or nothing thing. And I think just this whole, it's the same thing. The same thing happened with Way of Water. This weird back and forth usage of it just makes it more distracting than anything else. And it's really tough because it can be done well, and it probably would be done well if it was all. But just I don't know. Just I don't know. I don't know if it's one of those things where it's just like the technology's not there. I really don't know. There's probably an answer out there that I just haven't searched that hard for. But either way, I'm not a fan of that. I am a fan of the 3D. I am, I'm glad I saw it in Dolby 3D. I think it was still like a good way to see it. But I do have to make that note. Otherwise, I will say, the thing I will say, I actually really agree with pretty much everything you said. You seem to have a lot of the same general feelings on this film as I do. However, in classic Avatar fashion, this is something I saw now probably going on 3 to 4 weeks ago, and you and I had a conversation on the phone. And I think this is emblematic of kind of probably how I actually feel about this movie overall in terms of just like my response to it. We had a phone conversation a couple days ago in which you called me and said, holy shit, like why is F1 nominated for fucking Best Picture and Frankenstein isn't? Like what the fuck is going on with this world, man? Like there's other issues, but this is a big deal. There's things going on in this world that I don't approve of, and this is one of them.
The world's going to shit.
And so as it turned out, Frankenstein is nominated for Best Picture. F1 is as well, which is interesting, and I'll get back to that in a second. And it turns out Guillermo del Toro was snubbed for Best Director, which is perhaps outrageous, and perhaps we'll have to address that very conversation in our Year in Review episode. But, what I said in regard to F1 is, it feels like since they expanded the Best Picture category from 5 movies to 10, they always kind of put like one movie in there that's kind of just like a blockbustery sort of thing, so like we got Wicked in there a couple of years ago, and I think maybe the thought was Wicked for Good might maybe be, like a good 10th movie kind of contender. And that didn't happen. And I thought, pre-Academy buzz, I'm like, honestly, Sinners might be a good thing in there that might kind of hit that category of just being like, a good movie, but maybe doesn't quite get the respect from the Academy in the way that, maybe it arguably should. And turns out the Academy fucking loves Sinners. It's nominated for a shit ton of awards, most ever nominations, actually, which is incredible. And then F1 kind of ended up being that surprise kind of like, holy shit, Best Picture nomination for F1. And like, don't get me wrong, enjoyed that movie. A lot of fun. Great IMAX experience. But I don't know, Best Picture? I don't know. Okay. It didn't even have Rebecca Ferguson in it. It had some imposter. I mean, I don't it led me to this thought. I'm like, yeah, there was something else that people had thought might get that 10th nod, like that kind of like, you're not going to win, but like, we're just happy to be here sort of nomination, to be included in the Best Picture conversation. And I spent, I don't know, probably a good minute trying to rack my brain, like, fuck, what was that fucking movie that people thought might get that 10th nomination? And listeners might be able to figure out where this is going, but I had to Google it, be like, Oscar snubs, like, what was it? What could have gotten Best Picture but didn't? And I'm like, well, if you haven't figured it out, it was fucking Avatar: Fire and Ash was the movie that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that existed. That movie I saw less than a month ago. And so I say that's emblematic because
it's just
I think
forgettable.
I'm
Is it just forgettable?
These fucking Avatar movies they're all the fucking same. And like, I mean, literally in like many ways, they are just the same movie, just recycled and repackaged. And this one, holy shit, especially aspects of the third act, and we'll get into it in spoilers, but I'm like, this is, I think you might have literally taken like footage from the second movie and just dumped it back in here and thought you'd get away with it, trying to be sly, trying to be sneaky about it. They're all kind of the same in the sense, not just literally, but in the sense that they are just kind of ultimately forgettable. And I don't know what it is about them. I think, they're not wholly unique, I guess. They are sort of like, Dances with Wolves, but with blue aliens, blah, blah, blah. However many things you can describe them. Like they just, for whatever reason, seem to have this sort of flash in a pan status. Even though they make so much fucking money. And the second one came out 13 years later, and as I said, I'm like, people like Avatar. It was a flash in the pan. Who the fuck cares about it? $2.4 billion. I'm like, all right, fuck me. People still like them some Avatar. But no one talks about Avatar. No one, just like, I don't mean, maybe you have a different anecdote that you can share. Has anyone talked to you about Avatar at the movie?
Have you seen Avatar?
At the car lot?
No.
It's just not something that people talk about. You see Avatar, you fucking locked into a theater for 3.5 hours, longer with trailers. You go home and the next day it's out of your brain.
You never speak of it again.
You never think about it again until you see a trailer for the next one. You're like, fuck, they're doing it again, man. And the whole marketing cycle, I'm like, I just don't care. I don't fucking care about this. And I'm sure we've said it on the podcast. And every time a trailer comes out, I'm like, look, it looks pretty. It's probably going to be entertaining. I might even like it, but I'm not excited for it. And I know that like the day after or like a week after, I'm not really going to think about it ever again until the next one comes out or until we record a podcast on it. And I had to go fucking reread the Wikipedia plot synopsis today. Be like, this is a long movie. Like, what happened in this movie? And funnily enough, like I do think like a lot of the same things that you're feeling are the things that I felt within like the first week of it. I'm like, this is actually really not bad. It's got some issues. Spider fucking sucks. Like, I mean, fucking ridiculous. The character design, the actor sucks. The narrative importance in this, he's now got, it's a full Anakin Skywalker sort of deal in this one at this point. In terms of, it's basically Jake Lloyd levels of acting kind of thing that we're having here. And yet, in spite of that, this is a pretty freaking solid movie. Like, it's really not bad. It's really not a bad movie. And I'm like, color me shocked that it's like, even though it is just recycling plot points and sequences and certain things like narratively, it does go to some interesting places. Even with Spider, it does take it into narratively interesting places. I wish it was not with Spider, but I can kind of, however many hours in, I feel the same way. Like, I kind of see what we're heading towards, where we're going, where we're taking this thing. And like, I guess I'm kind of here for it. I'm not going to get excited for another one, but like, I can sort of
I'd go to the
vision.
theaters and see another one.
Yeah, I can sort of see the vision, and I'm like, you know what? I sat there. I stayed awake. I didn't take a potty break. I locked in for 3 hours and 17 minutes. I guess a little bit less than that if you take credits out. And I had a pretty good time. I have qualms. I have things that like, all right, but like on the whole, honestly, like very entertaining. I mean, and obviously a lot of it can just be traced back to like these are just the most visually impressive movies that probably have ever existed. I mean, just period.
They are.
And they are in a class of their own. And I'm sure it's a lot of prep time and talented people working on it. But it is stark to see how incredible this movie looks compared to basically every other movie that comes out, which always has some like I don't know, like the Marvel movies and all of it. Like all of it just kind of looks like shit, you know, especially relative to the Avatar movies. And it's
true.
I don't understand why they are on such a different plane in terms of computer generated effects compared to everything else. I'm sure it's crunch. I'm sure it's time pressures and, you know, not having the clear vision in this. And maybe it's helpful that
Jimmy C has unlimited amounts of money.
Lots of money. The Na'vi are generally speaking humanoid, you know, just kind of tall, lanky humans, in blue. You know, or different shades of blue, or you know, they got some red paint on if you're part of the ash people. Whatever.
Yeah, but you know the texture. Remember sand?
But yeah, no, they look fucking
sand
real.
And water and all that. Like,
it's you know the fidelity that you get out of like the How to Train Your Dragon animated stuff.
Yeah.
And honestly, I watched. It'll come up probably on the next episode. Elio is a movie that I watched, and like
Elio,
the
merman.
There's texturing. No, it's the astronaut. He goes to space.
The one eye.
And the one eye. Yes.
Okay, that was Bennett's first movie. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's like texturing on the fucking suits that they wear at one point. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Looks good.
This is insane. How do they make this look like this? And it's like, this is like the live action equivalent where it's just like, you know, those, you know, like we know that those are CGI movies. They're computer animated movies. And yet there's stuff in that, there's textures in those that are like basically lifelike, which is incredible. You know, like the fidelity is beyond video games. It's beyond anything that we've seen. And like in this, you know, like it's obviously a lot harder to make computer generated effects seem seamless, you know, feel so seamless with the live action components that it feels fucking real, you know, like no question. Like, you know, we've had some really great stuff. Like Gollum, I think was obviously very groundbreaking. I think, you know, Two Towers, Return of the King for the early 2000s. Like, yeah, Gollum doesn't look perfect now, but it looks pretty fucking good. Like very seamlessly integrated, you know, really, really well done. And of course, 2009, the first Avatar movie, you know, was you know, primo shit, you know, even when it came out. And this one, I mean, the technology is getting better and better, and it's just really, really impressive that they have been able to keep it up. You know, it hasn't peaked at a certain point of just being like, this is as good as it gets, and like, you know, you're gonna be able to tell this is computer shit. Like, yeah, I mean, I know the flying creatures and stuff are computer shit. I know the blue people aren't real, but it's pretty fucking convincing. You know, there's really not a moment in this where it feels like a human standing next to a CG,
and it's
creation.
Not like
and you
Alita.
see that in so many things.
It's not
it's not that either. Yeah.
Where like you spend 3 hours with these things and you just like come to accept it.
Yeah, you get used to it, but it's
there's
not
no
that
getting
it
used to this.
good.
It just straight up looks.
You just your brain adjusts. Like, no, this is just like you second one. You know, minute one. You're kind of like, fuck.
Here I am.
This looks good. Yeah, and it's believable and it's plausible, and you know, you just accept it for what it is. It's really, really impressive stuff. I mean, obviously this is the same conversation that I'm sure have with every Avatar movie, but like it's part of the tech demo, dude. And it's an incredible tech demo. You know, and I wish that I don't know, like they've got some secret to it that the other studios haven't quite. You know, I mean, it's literally Disney. Like, all, you know, there's a bunch of Disney shit. Like, I'm sure it's different houses. Like, I think this is Weta.
Weta makes some good shit, dude. That's a pretty awesome.
Whatever the secret is to making these movies look so good, maybe it is just like extra time. Give every movie another fucking year in post production to get this shit right. Like, I guess it's probably not feasible, you know, from a financial standpoint, but I don't know.
But it could be.
It's like we know that this is possible. So it's the fact that you know that this is possible that really makes that other stuff feel like, oh, what happened here? You know, like, what did you do?
Like if everybody just has like one slightly slower year, okay, instead of putting out 5 movies, I want to put out 3 movies. You know what I'm saying? Eventually what would happen is you would be left with the Like, eventually, year after year, you would have a full roster of movies being released that took proper time to incubate and look the way they should, look the way that they were envisioned, But then again, you have to be paying Weta for it. Weta makes some bonkers shit, dude. I think Weta did Lord of the Rings too, didn't they?
I believe so. Yeah. So I guess it makes sense. Yeah.
They're just a high caliber studio or whatever. But
yeah, I don't know. I just I mean, I'm glad we have this, to at least admire from like a wow, this is pretty standpoint. I just wish the other things could reach this standard. Because too often it becomes a holy shit. Why does this look so bad? Like this CGI from a 2025, 2026 movie literally looks worse than something that was made 15 years ago. I mean, we talked about it with the fucking CG blood in the 300s. It's like, why does this movie that's made less than like more like, I don't know, 7-8 years later look worse? Like, how is this possible? Right. I don't know. I mean, I just obviously laziness, time constraints, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there are a number of reasons why you can arrive at an answer for that, but
you think it's good enough?
Be that way,
you think people just have good enough syndrome?
Probably. There's probably a fair amount of that, of just being like, meh, like who's actually going to care? Two chuckle fucks, on a podcast. Oh well, I guess we'll get over it. Like I'm sure there's an aspect of it to that, of just being like, well, why would we spend an extra $100 million if we don't need to? If it's not that big of a deal, and like fair enough. But props to you, I guess. But Jimmy for taking this the distance, Yeah, when you do look at it, yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? And when you do, it puts asses in seats. When you
puts asses in seats, it seems
you make $1.5 billion. You know what I mean?
It's not $2 billion, but it's still pretty fucking good. I would think
it's still yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what there is to say in terms of non-spoilers. It's an Avatar movie. It's a beautiful movie. I mean, I think the cast is good. I think it's effectively the same cast as what we've got in prior movies. I guess Varang being the one big new addition, Una Chaplin.
Who played that?
And she's good. She
Kate
was
Winslet's in this?
Kate Winslet is in this. She's Ronal, who's the main water tribe leader.
Oh, the pregnant one?
Yeah, yes, that's probably a more helpful descriptor, the pregnant one, yes.
Who played Una Chaplin?
She played the leader
one?
The bad one, yeah, Varang, Mangquan tribe. Yeah, she was in Game of Thrones as Robb Stark's love interest until things didn't work out so well for either of those characters. Spoilers. Yep. Otherwise it's it's Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver is playing a 15-year-old for some reason. There's a story reason, but I say for some reason because it's still pretty fucking silly. I also feel like they got away. I feel like in the last one they tried to do stuff with her voice to make her sound younger, and this one she just sounds like a fucking 7-year-old woman. And it's like, okay, whatever. Okay, Jimmy C, you do what you want, man. I don't know. All around good. Story, I think I will here's what I'll say is maybe moving into recommendation, final thought. I had a lot better time with this one than I did the second one.
Yeah, totally agree.
The second one
agree.
felt fucking long. It felt long. This one's long. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's 3+ hours long. It's a long fucking movie. There's
couple endpoints. I was like, oh, this is it? No, I know it's 3 hours. That's not going to be it.
No doubt in my mind. Interesting, one of the things I was looking at, in terms of the behind the scenes of this and, looking for fun fact inspirations is that this and The Way of Water were once upon a time Avatar 2. And then,
holy fuck.
James Cameron had to, there's just too much. There's just too much. I have to repeat the same things too many times that I can't just do it in one movie. I have to do it in two. And I do absolutely think there's a way that you could make a 3.5 hour Avatar 2 that is basically all of the plot beats of The Way of Water and Fire and Ash smashed together, and it's a better movie. Like, I think that there's a way to do like, these did not need to be each 3+ hour movies. It's fucking absurd that they are. Like, narratively, no reason for it. But this one, at least, I think justified its runtime a little bit more. I think it had momentum. The second one was a lot, like, oh, we found the water people and let's go swim with the whales for 20 minutes and then, boats and
Tech
boats
demo.
for a while. It was very much, look at them swimming in this water. This is the most incredible fucking water you've ever seen. This isn't actually real water. It's fake water, but you can't tell. It's so fucking incredible. Like, it was very, like, 2 was very much up its own ass in that sort of way, where it was just like, look at these fucking whales. These are not actually real whales. They look kind of like whales, but you can tell they're kind of alien looking whales. So they're not quite exactly, but you can't tell because they look so good. It very much felt like that, and it was like just hours, literally hours of just fucking swimming around and shit. And it's like, hey, this is cool. This does look impressive. And then eventually we get a third act with boats and shit and whatever. This one I felt like at least narratively had a structure to it that felt like something's happening. Oh shit, big thing happened. We need to respond to that. Okay, we can take a breather for 2 minutes. Okay, oh shit, something big's happening. Like, we got, like, it felt like there was something going on. It wasn't an hour of swimming with whales. You know what I mean? Like it was always something moving along. We got to get somewhere. Someone's here. Someone got kidnapped. A lot of people get kidnapped. That happened in the last one. Everyone's getting fucking kidnapped. People that got kidnapped in the last one probably going to get kidnapped at some point in this one, because I don't know. They all get kidnapped. But I do think that, like, this one really had a little bit more. Just something to it. Like, it felt like. In the way that 2 very much was a tech demo, I fully agree with that assessment. This one was just like, okay, now there's a story too. We've established the tech demo parts of it. Now we can build on that. Add some layers to it. So in terms of recommendation, I guess, to get there, do you have any other non-spoiler thoughts? Ready to move on to recommendation?
No, Una Chaplin is actually the great-granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
That's true.
That's
a
fucking
fun
wild.
fact. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and I personally think that she's elevated the franchise for me. I think she
fair. High praise.
I think her performance made the movie interesting. Turned it from that dead guy that's been recycled for 2 movies. This is the new bad.
I agree with you there. I think
and she was captivating, and she was, I don't know, I just really found her performance awesome.
I'll have more to say in spoilers, because I do agree with that, and I would like to expand on my thought on that. But I think, in the interest of not saying it half now and then full later, I think I'll just save my thought. Yeah. So recommendation then. Are we
Yeah.
I guess see it in theaters, wait to watch it at home, and then wait for someone to pay you to watch it for this. That's our film scale, if I recall correctly. I'm gonna just jump in and say, I mean, I think this is a step up from the last movie. I think this is the kind of movie that really greatly benefits from a theatrical experience. So I will say, from an enjoyment level, I will say watch this in theaters for me. But what I will say is, at the same time, recognizing the fact that this has now been out for a month, if you haven't seen this movie yet, I think obviously, Andrew, I guess you waited a month after it's released to see it, but you're at the point now where you're losing the ability to see it in like some of the better screens, and you're kind of losing that ability. And I think especially if you just don't give a flying fuck, I think you'd be totally fine to wait for Disney Plus or something like that. I mean, I'm kind of cheating by giving a double recommendation, but I think quality wise, honestly, I think this movie is like a go see in theaters. It's not a rousing, holy fuck, see this right now. It's like, this is pretty good. I think you could have a good time. Take a bathroom break if you need to. Fuck it. It is what it is. You don't need to hold your Wii for a Wii and kill yourself kind of thing, because James Cameron, can't fucking help himself and edit his movies to under 3 hours. I realize I'm a hypocrite in saying that. Hey, the difference is, with podcasts, that pause button is super fucking accessible. you can listen to podcasts in like 300 chunks if you really want to. And honestly, I don't care if you do. I don't care. That's totally fine. You watch a movie in 300 chunks, it's a little less feasible. It probably loses a little impact that way. But obviously in a theater, you don't have a fucking choice. You either just go take a 2-minute bathroom break, or you hold it, and so I don't know. I think it shows a little bit of a lack of respect. I think James actually made a comment about like bring intermissions back. He's not wrong on the Stranger Things 5 episode, to be clear. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I'm rambling now, but
no. What
do you think?
I clearly, I feel like with a lot of other movies, I don't have, the fact that it's 3 hours kind of makes it a movie where it's a struggle to like, I need to make sure that I'm here at this time at the movie theater. Otherwise it's going to make the next day absolutely fucking miserable. But a greater effort could have been put in to try to watch this movie sooner than what I did. I think it is the holiday season, so it's naturally difficult. That
was tough. Yeah. And
but if it was Star Wars, guess what? I'm going to
You'd
make
be there. Yeah.
I'd be there. Right. Exactly. And I'm glad I saw this in theaters. I'm glad I didn't say, hey, listen, dude, we had Disney this weekend. I was just exhausted and I can't see it the next week. We're just going to push it out. I'm sorry. I can't go. I'm glad I didn't flake out on this. I enjoyed watching it in theaters. It was a good theater experience. It was long. It was samey. I didn't care for some of the characters, but I do feel at this point I've got over 9 hours invested in Avatar. I do feel like it's starting to show something worth the investment of time. I think that the performances are I think they're getting better. I think that the character development is very slowly starting to get interesting and worthwhile. And I don't know. I think it's peak Avatar, which is to say that it's still a 3-hour movie that still leaves a lot on the table, but it is very pretty and it's starting to show character depth, which makes it interesting. It's starting to show more of the depth of the IP, which makes it more interesting. And I just think the whole thing is getting more interesting. It should have been more interesting.
The last movie?
Like 3 hours ago, 6 hours ago. You know what I mean? But here we are. We're finally here. And I'm glad that we're here. You know what I mean? Usually you double down on the same thing before, and they did double down on the same thing before, but at least they made it better, So I say that if you can watch it in theaters and you have any sort of, you have to have investment in the franchise
Yes, for sure. I think maybe that's what I was trying to drive at. It's like, if you haven't seen it at this point, you probably don't fucking care about Avatar. Like, I'm not going to say go fucking watch 6 hours on Disney Plus and then plant yourself in a theater. Like, no, don't do that. But yeah,
if you watch the last one, definitely watch this one because this one's better than that last one.
Yeah. And if you liked the last one, watch this one because it's better than the last one.
Or if you skipped the second one and you only saw the first one, you could probably get away with watching just this one.
Yeah, you might be like, what was this fucking white kid with dreads running around in his fucking underwear?
That's true. That's true. There's going to have a couple blind spots.
That's Spider, listeners. That's Spider. We love him. We love the little guy. No, we hate him.
Avatar. But yeah, I think it's if you can see it in theaters, go watch it in theaters. It's a beautiful, especially if you have any like stake in like film and stuff, because this really is pushing the pushing the envelope forward.
It's
a beautiful film.
It's on another level. It really is.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's our recommendation.
Spoilers.
I'm ready for some spoilers. Full spoilers for Avatar: Fire and Ash.
What's going on with Awa? The Star Child. I got 2001 Space Odyssey vibes.
Big face.
Yeah, big face. What's up with that? What do you make of that?
I don't know. I mean, big face, big goddess. She's vengeful, I guess. Right? Don't they call on her to help? And was it at one point Curie's like, kill them all, kill the fucking sky people, kill the fuckers. She says something like that, right?
All the squids, all the squids.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I was like, I know it's like the wildlife like springs to life and just fucking wrecks people. I don't know. I don't know what to make of our Navi goddess. I don't know. What do you think? Let me flip that question right back around on you. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what to think. I thought it was like, oh man, I feel like I've seen this before. Did I see this in that real shit show? The first thing that I thought was, oh man, is this that real shit show that I watched during my fever dream of
Raised by Wolves?
Yeah, is this some Raised by Wolves shit? Or is this... But then like the super smooth complexion and the big face, I kind of got alien like the engineer kind of thing. Engineer vibes. I got engineer vibes. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. And then I got Star Child vibes, like 2001 Odyssey, And I think that might be the direction that they're going. Like, is it going to be that, I can't remember her name, but, Kitty?
Curie, yeah.
Curie. Is Curie going to be like, maybe Curie is actually controlling the environment? She doesn't know it, Well, she definitely has this connection to Awa, unlike any of the other Navi. So maybe Awa is like the planet. Maybe Awa is like Mother Earth, and like she is dialed into it in a way that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. I might have had a better answer for you a few weeks ago, to be quite honest. But I don't know. I mean, I do think that this definitely feels like the most significant, like. Not just name dropping, we will, Awa help us, or, kind of like, I feel like the first movie is very much, they obviously worship Awa and believe that like all good things come through her, and then all the bad things, like we have upset Awa, the fucking colonizers are here and they're everything they do is against Awa. And I feel like the second one's kind of that, but then you see the water people and they maybe have like a little different, sort of appreciation, but still have the appreciation. And this one kind of throws things out the window, because not only do you have, well, obviously you have Curie and her connection to Awa and the way that she's able to at least attempt to reach out. I guess she kind of struggles throughout the movie. She kind of has this block, but certainly, even by the end, there's, like a big thing that happens with Spider and stuff. We'll get there. Yeah, she puts fungus in his lungs. That works.
Well, yeah, there's some fungus stuff going on here. The squids and stuff attacking, but also just like you have Varang and the Ash people who are very much like they reject Awa, and it's just like no, we don't buy into that bullshit, which is very unlike anything we've seen from any of the other Navi that we've seen to this point. So I don't know if that answers the question or just deflects it turns it into a different conversation, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, so you got the Ash people, and they completely, because that volcano messed up their village, right. And they're not about Awa, they renounce Awa and they find, I guess they find.
I guess power. They worship guns now.
Yeah, now they worship. Yeah, now they worship guns. They're all about those guns and the flamethrowers. Yeah. They really like those flamethrowers.
Big Second Amendment supporters, that's for sure.
Yeah. That was. I don't know about it. It's Varang is. I don't know. She's interesting.
She's definitely interesting. She's interesting.
Like the main bad guy is obviously manipulating her. Like you can like this is an easy point of manipulation. I can bring her weapons and shit that she doesn't understand. And then I gain a faction of the people. You know what I mean? It's a very like calculated move. Which is I think that part's interesting. You know, I think that shows
more interesting than probably anything that happened in the second one.
Yeah, right.
Probably.
It's like okay, this is the play. This is the play. These people are all about like raiding, and they don't worship the same God, and they just are all about this and that. And I'm going to bring them weapons. Yeah, that'll do it. And it does do it, you know?
Yeah, it's a strategic partnership. Obviously, it's somewhat risky because these people are a bit of a wild card and very much not, you know, I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get, but at the same time, like, you know that they're not like the other Na'vi who very much are looking to kill you and get you off their fucking planet. So yeah, I mean, the
display of power I thought was really interesting when he like walks in with the weapons. And he's clearly not worried about like
demonstration and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he just stands up to her and he's like, no, you're not. And that one guy shoots him down. Pow! She's like staring at him, which I thought was kind of unnerving. But they had the sniper up
definitely
in the hills.
unnerving, but yeah. But
know?
the evolution of where all that goes is really, really fascinating because it definitely starts as one thing. And I think at least as far as Quaritch is concerned, moves into a maybe different, unexpected direction for him personally.
That's true. I think I'll keep you and you can pleasure me. And she's
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Because there's that whole thing where, you know, she does the forced connections of the braids. I don't know what they're called. And it's very rapey and obviously very unsettling and uncomfortable and you know, not good, not pleasant. Yeah, I mean, just very brutal and hardcore. Like the methods, very different from what we've seen from any of the Na'vi. You know, like obviously the Neytiri's people and the first one obviously are just about their forest and protecting their home. Very much the same with, I think, the water people, you know, and the connection to the animals and stuff like that. I think is a big part of their culture. And then now it's just like, we reject everything. We're just going to burn it all to the fucking ground. Yeah. You know, the fucking caravan in the beginning or towards the beginning, you know, the first hour at least, we'll say, we're just going to fucking wreck them, you know, crash them and kill all the fucking creatures carrying. And it's just, man, like it's just relentless, hardcore fucking, you know, nonstop brutality. And that's kind of their culture, which is, you know,
domination,
pretty
power,
up.
Just power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought because Kitty, what the fuck's her name again?
You just say, I think it's Kiri. I think I think they just kind of Kitty. You know, I think it's like the way they say it. You know, is very much like, you know, Kitty. You know, like I don't know. So it's a little bit like that. You know, you gotta throw some bros and some cousins in there and Kitty. You know,
well, whatever her name is, she dominates that psychic link at the end. And I thought that was pretty awesome. Like she jumps in and throws her fucking hair in there and gets that psychic link on and just fucking completely dominates the Varang. And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. Because up until that point, she's been very like a very passive kind of character. You know, and not passive, I guess, but because she does shoot spikes and shit into other people, but you just don't view her as that kind of...
Yeah, no, yeah. It's a step forward, step up sort of thing. Yeah, no, I would agree. I think on the subject of Quaritch and Varang, I think this is what I was ready to dive into. I think one of the big things that I struggled with The Way of Water was bringing Quaritch back. It was just kind of like, really? The next fucking movie? Like, I get that it's been 13 years or whatever, but it's just like... Look, we just killed this guy. He's in his fucking mech suit. He has a fight with Jake Sully. He dies. He's got his knife, big knife now in the mech suit, and he dies. And it's like, all right. And then the next movie, it's like, just kidding. He's back, but now he's blue too. I always just kind of felt like there's no other fucking villains. There's no other villains on this fucking planet. There's no one else that they could have any sort of conflict with. You know,
right?
We got to immediately bring this fucking guy back. And I did feel that way. Feel like for the entirety of The Way of Water, and in this one. for him particularly, it was really interesting because I kind of feel like, he starts with the militaristic perspective still through and through, but I think that, you see his interactions with the humans and the military, and they don't really look at him, as one of their own anymore. Like, he's not getting saluted, he's not getting the sort of respect, and
right.
And I thought that was kind of an interesting angle, that he's kind of isolated, and kind of othered, I think, and even within his own circle, like
with
that's
his people, yeah,
that's his people, that's what he knows. And I thought that was really interesting. And I think the more interesting thing is when he meets Varang, and obviously it's initially for this partnership, and then it turns into a little bit more than just a official, strategic militaristic partnership, and more of a partnership. You know what I mean? And I think, that's funny because there's like the whole thing, and then they do the briefing, and then he shows up and he's got the fucking war paint on and everything. I'm like, oh, this dude, he's in. He's more like Jake Sully than he knows, than he realizes, in terms of just being like, oh, maybe I get where he was coming from now, and I thought was actually like a really interesting wrinkle for that character to actually give him like more of an arc of evolving from I'm jingoistic military man, hoorah, like to maybe this Pandora place ain't so bad after all, and maybe these Navi people, some of them anyway, ain't so bad after all. I thought that was really interesting. And then obviously the flip side of that being Varang just being kind of a breath of fresh air, as I think we've talked about, of just a very different perspective for the Navi. I thought that was and really well portrayed and stuff, and all really good. I did think she was sidelined a bit towards this back half of the movie. I think she just kind of fucks off, I think, in the final act is kind of what happens with her. You might be able to refresh my memory on that. So obviously probably a ... to be continued, I think, with her character. I'm sure we would see her in Avatar 4 if 1 point however many billion is enough for Disney to pull the trigger. But yeah, I don't know. I think villain-wise, this felt like a really good step up of just being like, yes, it is Quaritch again, but maybe there's actually something interesting now. Unlike the last one, there's actually something interesting, and he's paired with someone who's really interesting and very different, and brings a new spark, to the franchise. So I do think all around, like that was the thoughts I was thinking about getting out. But I don't know. It was really interesting to have those two characters share the screen in the ways that they did. So yeah. And also, Quaritch is not dead. He just fell off, right? He just fell off into the sky. He's fine. He'll be fine.
He just left.
No body equals he's fine. Anyway.
The flux tearing all the ships up. You remember that? It's a big magnetic flux.
Oh,
they fucked up all the ships maybe. There. They were hunting the whales. They were going to massacre all the whales.
Yes, right. Yeah, that's right. Because just what this movie needed was another third act of them trying to hunt the fucking whales again.
Yeah.
Crazy that they just
did the last movie, right?
Again. They did it the last movie. I think the last one they had, like, they were on I don't know. I feel like it was like 90% the same shit. This is what I'm talking about. There were moments where I'm like, I think this shot is taken from Way of Water. I think they just recycled this shit.
Them hunting the whales underneath the water, above the water,
they hunted
all
the
whales.
Shit. Yeah, all that stuff. They brought the guy back. I think the difference is he's missing a limb now. Like, he lost a limb in the last movie, and so now he's here. And also, Jermaine's not around.
Jermaine's in this, right?
Jermaine's in this, but Jermaine had a change of heart. I think Jermaine was like iffy about it, but like still there hunting the whales in the last one, and now he's like, I'm gonna do something.
We're gonna break you out,
so
Scully.
He breaks Jake Sully out.
Sully, yeah.
Which was fun. And he gets the F-bomb. I forget exactly what the line is, but he gets the PG-13 F-bomb in there, which is pretty good.
I think that's pretty much the biggest thing for me was the AWA, the giant face. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that was or how I feel about it. But she broke through, and I thought that was I think that stuff's really I think the more the
lore of it all is pretty interesting. I think
so.
It's just the fact that it's 9 hours of storytelling for 2 hours of plot. 3 hours of plot, maybe.
And
especially the middle 3 hours.
We get minimal lore in 3 hours. Like, we get all the. It's just, I don't know. but we get a little bit more every time, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah, it's something, I guess. Well, what about I don't know. How about Spider?
Fucking Spider, dude.
Here's what I had going into this movie was this movie will, I think, go up a point if Spider dies. Well, 2 points. 2 points for Spider dying in some capacity. Great. Would love that. Absolutely love that. Didn't expect that.
Comes back as a little Navi.
Well, that was gonna. I said 2 points. 2 points if Spider dies. Like maybe 3 points even. Like fuck this. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Spider dies. I don't care how it happens. Just as long as it happens. 10 out of 10. Because I fucking hate Spider. He's the worst. Everything about him. There's nothing about Spider that is redeemable. Nothing about him. The fucking dreads, the fucking underwear, the actor fucking sucks. Sorry, I know he was a kid, and we shouldn't say mean things about kids, but he was bad. James Cameron, you made poor choices, and he was bad in the last one, and then he's like the main fucking character of this one in a sort of way where like the plot is really focused on him. It's like, oh no, his mask stopped working. He doesn't have a backup anymore. Oh no, I guess he's just going to have to die. Oh no.
Oh, we're going to watch him die.
Oh no. It's going to be so sad. Everyone's going to be sad, but I'm going to be fucking, fist pumping in my seat. And, obviously, just fucking magic bullshit. Awa, gives him some fucking shit so he can breathe the Pandoran air. Which apparently is a big fucking plot point because, oh shit, what if humans can just breathe this air? I mean, fair, and that's actually pretty fucking interesting. I will say, I'm like, all right, it's kind of interesting, and they explore that. Once he gets, caught, and it's like a big deal of being like, hey, if we can fucking breathe this air, like that's
they're just gonna dissect that kid. And
that's a fucking game changer. Dissect him, that'd be fine. I have no objection. No objection. One point would have been if they just made him blue, because just make him blue. It's fine. It's totally fine. We don't need just like a half point if the dreads are gone. It's just the white boy with dreads of it all. That is just like
his pink skin and his hands. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm Team Neytiri. I'm Team Neytiri. She's like, what? Fuck this little pink skinned, dreaded little boy.
Their little hands and their little bodies.
I am not inclined to disagree with Neytiri. I think she was on to something. Not all pink skins, just Spider.
I'll be honest with you. I got a little. I started to get a little emotional when he was going to sacrifice Spider on the rock. It's like a real Cain and Abel kind of situation.
When he was going out there to fucking kill him. He's like, you're too much of a peril now because now,
you can breathe air. I was like, oh man, I got a little emotional.
I didn't get emotional because it's undercut because I got to take a piss, dude. I got to take a piss, man. Oh, I got to piss. It's a little bit of that, but
I got a little emotional until Spider says, I understand you got to cut my throat. But do you love me?
I'm a pilot,
It's like, fuck you, dude. Cut his throat. We know what
do it. Let's, yeah. He just couldn't do it. Son of a bitch.
I understand you can cut my throat. Okay, good. Thank you. Made that easy. Thank you.
That I will say, so I knew like very early on, all right, they're not going to make this dude fucking blue. They've made it a whole goddamn plot point of this movie, the fact that he is not blue and he can breathe the air. That's a big deal. I understand. It's interesting. You got to keep him around as Spider in true Spider form. He can't make him blue Spider anymore. I get it. But then that happened, yeah, and then it was this moment of being like, he represents too much trouble, he's a great he endangers this whole fucking planet because of now his biology, and it's like, yeah, let's kill him.
It's a good reason.
It's a sacrifice for the greater good.
It's
I don't know. I think they should have done it.
Oh fuck! What is
10 out of 10? 10 would have been a 10 out of 10.
What the fuck does? Oh, I lost my card, dude. I lost the card. No good.
Oh no!
It's a Scylla and Carbidus or whatever the fuck the name was.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's a Scylla and Carbidus situation. Rock between a hard spot. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, absolutely, yeah. I think
and you got to
to
sacrifice one
save the many.
Yes, for the save the many, right?
You got to do
save
it.
The
You
boat.
got to do it. And yet Jake Sully makes bad decisions. But what are you going to do? It's not a 10 out of 10 movie because Spider lives to see the end of the day. And not only does he fucking live, he gets to fucking reunite with everyone at the end. He sees Sigourney Weaver. She's hanging out. Sees the one guy
Sigourney
from the
Weaver's
first movie.
all about him too. She gets a little
Oh,
Sigourney Weaver action.
He's having like a little love interest deal with his maybe sister, not biologically, but kind of. I don't know.
Half-sister? Wow, Jimmy C's up on the modern shit.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's like, and it's also like forced and unnecessary. It's just like, do I need a Spider romantic subplot? No. Not unless you're gonna rip Curie's heart out by killing Spider off. In which case, 10 out of 10. No, that would be me.
Full,
that would
like,
be me.
Rage of AWOL kind of deal.
Probably would. Yeah, probably would. Anyway, I know I shouldn't be mean to children or whatever, but man, he sucks.
He's not a child anymore. He's a full grown.
Well, yeah, at this point now, but when they shot this, I think he was a child. So, because there's a whole thing, because there's a kiss scene between him and Curie, and obviously it's performance capture because it's a human and a blue person. But there's articles that very specifically like, no, Sigourney Weaver did not kiss a child. So I mean, it's good that James Cameron decided, might be weird if this 76-year-old, probably 3 or 4-year-old woman at the time kissed a.
They did a little audio treatment on that. Did you hear her when she got real upset and she sounded like Sigourney Weaver? It's actually, I'll be honest with you, there was a moment in the movie where she got upset or did something or she definitely said something, but she was upset about something.
Okay.
And when she said it, they did a thing with the audio where it sounded more like Sigourney Weaver, and I remembered what happened in the last movie. I was like, oh shit, that character is Sigourney, like, it was
right, yes, it's like, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Because up until that point, I couldn't remember.
Forgot that little part, yeah. I mean, that's valid. Who could remember the way of water other than
but there was a thing where she
stuff.
Screamed or she yelled or something, and like the Sigourney Weaver voice came out a little bit more than than usual.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah.
But that's I don't really have anything else on it, really, honestly.
I was just going to ask, is there anything else that comes out? I had to get my spider rant in there.
The deep ones were pretty cool. I like the squids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the squids. Yeah, I liked the stuff on the human base, with Jake being captured and then the escape and all that. I thought that was all pretty fun. Neytiri coming in and stuff. That was good. Infiltrating as one of the Ash people was good. That was
pretty good.
Kids. Well, I guess they're struggling because one of the kids got killed in the last movie. You might have forgotten that part, but I feel like the movie kind of starts with like
he got put in the whale, though, right?
Something like that. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. The one son is kind of racked with guilt, and like feels responsible for.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot himself. That was pretty heavy.
Yeah, pretty heavy stuff.
But he keeps talking to one of the whales like it's his brother, and that was the whale that got like
maybe it was bonded with his brother or something. That I don't remember specifically. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I couldn't fill in the gaps and tell you.
They can't remember.
There's
can't remember any
of
the shit.
That's the problem. We're going on a month for this fucking movie.
I'm going on
this one particularly. You're going on less than a week, and it's just like, what happened? Huh?
He was talking that whale like it was his brother. He was real upset about when he got exiled. He went out there in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. I don't know. Big boomies at the end. Big fight. People are. Things are happening, and I don't know.
I kind of felt bad. You remember the flying tribe or whatever? They go over there and they try to smuggle Spider away, and they get
fucked up.
Yeah, and then that it looks like a cuttlefish that's flying the fucking the thing, and it gets dragged down into the forest as everything burns down.
Yeah, everything's on
fire.
That was
pretty
fucked. That was brutal for sure. Yeah, no, that was gnarly. Yeah,
I don't have anything else really though. I can't really think of anything else. Like when I say it's got a little bit more emotional depth, it's still an Avatar movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's not. Yeah. This is not a significant step up. Like
it's not a Hamnet as I imagine a Hamnet would be.
It's got some emotion in there. I'll say.
I watched a minute and a half trailer and it had more emotion.
It gotcha. Yeah, I mean, Avatar has never been that. To be fair to it, this is more. This is more than the last one.
More. Yeah.
I mean, I do think the first one's the best of the now trilogy. To in my eyes, I think it has the benefit of just kind of feeling standalone. And obviously now the sequels have kind of built on. It's like sort of the Matrix sort of thing where it's. I think the Avatar sequels maybe are better than the Matrix sequels, to be fair, but like. You know, the first one was kind of intended to be its own thing, and then they built off of it and kind of added new things. And like, there's some cool stuff in there, but at the end of the day, for me, the first one is still kind of all you really need if you want. But I think that obviously, you know, there's a lot of cool world building. There's a lot of like cool world to build. I think there's some good additions in here overall. That like, yeah, I mean, you don't need fucking 3 hours for each of these movies, but it's fairly well done. It is, this one particularly, I think, is fairly well done. You know, for what it is, too much of what it is, but still good enough that I don't know. Come for in a theoretical future, I think we will probably be back in the saddle to talk about Avatar or whatever the fuck
more
it's gonna
than
be called.
likely.
More than likely. So yeah. Anything that you would want to see out of the future of this franchise in an Avatar 4 and 5?
More of like I just really want to explore the AWA situation.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression based on that being your first question.
Yeah, that
spoilers,
and like
that makes sense.
Kitty Catty, whatever.
Kitty Cat. Yep.
What her relationship is
what's
with
her
AWA.
deal?
I could pretty much do away with all the people.
Yeah, no, turn everyone blue. It's fine. Or they can all breathe. No, turn them all blue. That way they can't breathe.
Turn them all blue, they leave, and I just want Na'vi world lore. That's it. I just say here for Na'vi stuff.
No, I get that. I don't know. Now there's a big subplot, obviously lingering subplot of, hey, if they can breed Pandora and air, then that's a game changer. And I feel like that's not fully resolved, obviously, by the end of this movie. At least I don't think so. You know, they're very much, I think, a to be continued in terms of that story direction. So I don't know. I think so. I mean, we've now had the Earth Nation, the Water Nation, Fire Nation. So
what's left?
Who's left?
Space Nation,
Air Nation.
Air Nation.
The Air
we haven't
tribe?
seen much of the Air Tribe. I mean, they got fucked up in this last one.
Yeah. All right.
I don't
Avatar, Fire and Ash. Is that it? Is that what you got?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to call it there for Avatar, Fire and Ash. I have some Bruce Brown submissions on the listener's corner. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Let's lay it on me. What do we got?
My mother was on a cruise, so he was busy. I'll just preface it by saying that. Let's see here. All right, we're going to start with The Rip on Netflix with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Oh, I've heard a lot about that one.
It was well-paced, with a good ending, worth watching. Just came out, I think like a week or two ago.
It repeats the plot 3 times to because people are on
it's
their
got
phones?
the second screen or whatever the thing we talked about with Stranger Things where you have to explain everything that's happening so that people can look at their phones and scroll on fucking TikTok or whatever. Yeah. Yep. He also watched both The Nun and The Nun 2. In regard to the first Nun, looks scary as hell, not that good, just okay. And yet he still watched the second one because why not watch the sequel, as he says. Worse than the first one, but I guess good for a late night horror movie. So I guess maybe you could do worse. He watched a movie that, is nominated for Best Picture, and no, it's not F1, the peak dad movie. Frankenstein. Thought it was incredible, well done, captivating, not what I expected, but in a good way. Overall, a must-watch classic. Not sure why it came out on Netflix instead of the theaters. I think the answer to that is Del Toro and Netflix just have a deal because he did Pinocchio. And it did technically get a very limited theatrical release, but not a big one. Shrinking may have submitted this before. Harrison Ford and Jason Segel as counselors, therapists. Excellent show with season 3 coming out this month. And I actually just watched the first episode randomly. Definitely enjoyed it. Would like to watch more and probably will watch more. Something I imagine you've been watching, I think came up on our Stranger Things episode, The Pitt, season 2.
Oh, yeah,
started. HBO Max. He says it started off a bit rough for him. Noah Wiley may be the worst doctor in the AR, does a lot of moping around, watching people work without doing any work himself, predictable one-liners back and forth with his temporary female replacement. I don't know anything about that. Still haven't watched season 1. Episode 2, though, much better, back to what he expected. Episode 1 was get you back up to speed and introduce a few new cast members type thing. So it sounds like back on track. But I imagine, again, that's something you've been watching, so you could probably speak to that too. And then sent another email with a couple more. Agatha Christie's Seven Dials is a 3-part series on Netflix. Excellent cast. Veep was perfect for the role, and the supporting cast all excellent. Can't go wrong with an Agatha Christie murder mystery, and this one is as good or better than any other I have seen. Highly recommended. You can go wrong if you watch Death on the Nile, but otherwise I agree. Don't do it. Just don't. Sorry, Kenneth Branagh. You fucked that one. You fucked it. And then finally, he said some things about our Stranger Things 5 podcast. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, it's one where we were joined by the Ink to Film podcast. He said it was one of our best. The Ink to Film guys really added a dynamic perspective to it, which made it an engagingly little 3.5-hour episode to listen to. Thanks for keeping them shorter, he says in parentheses. And I detect a hint of sarcasm there. I really enjoyed having the Ink to Film team on board for this episode. It was a long one. We had a lot to say on Stranger Things 5, but technically the episode was shorter than the entirety of Stranger Things 5, so we at least accomplished that. And this one will be shorter than the entirety of Avatar: Fire and Ash, so we were at least accomplishing that. We used to not be able to accomplish
We're making
that.
steps.
Avengers
We're making
Endgame,
strides.
our cumulative Avengers Endgame coverage probably exceeded the entire runtime of Avengers Endgame. So we're taking steps in the right direction, that's for sure. Anyway, that's what I've got on the listener's corner. I don't know if anyone sent you any emails, but that's what I have.
Nobody sent me emails.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, 2 weeks since we talked about Stranger Things 5. I know you've been to Disney. I know you've watched an Avatar: Fire and Ash, but have you been up to a thing or two otherwise you want to talk about?
I watched watching the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. Some football action.
That was a pretty good game.
That was the real Super Bowl.
I was kind of yeah. You're not the only one I've heard say that. I was rooting for the Rams, but I'm not disappointed. It was a very good game.
I was going to root for whoever won that game because fuck the Patriots and fuck the Broncos.
Yes, exactly. We booked our skiing tickets. We're going to go skiing, I think, the week before you come down to Florida. You're coming down to Florida, which is pretty awesome, but we're going to go skiing. We leave for West Virginia on the 8th, and we're supposed to be coming back on a Thursday. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to take advantage of the like freeze of 2026 or whatever. I don't know if they have a name for it or whatever, but America is freezing over.
Yes.
It's super
felt
cold.
It here. We got lots of snow here. Lots of snow still piled up because it's freezing and not melting right now. So yeah.
Well, hopefully West Virginia is the same way.
Might be. Yeah. Very well could be.
So we fly in on the 8th, and anyways, we're going to be watching the Super Bowl.
It'll be there
West
for
Virginia.
Super Bowl Sunday. Sounds like.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I told Ben, I said I'm going to be decked out in some Seahawks shit when we get up there to the bar in West Virginia to watch a football game. So very much looking forward to the Super Bowl. It'll be fun. And very much looking forward to skiing. So we have February, and very much looking forward to you coming down.
I'll be down there. Yeah,
February is going to be a awesome month. I'm very much looking forward to it. 2026 personally seems like it's going better than 2025.
That's good.
I think partially out of just sheer will. We will 2026 to be better than 2025. I think, you know what I mean. Doing our best, anyways. Seems to be off to a rocky start everywhere outside of the bubble, but the bubble, we're trying to keep
The bubble's fine. You got to maintain the bubble at least. Otherwise things are bad, real bad.
Yeah. Movie wise, we are playing catch up for the big movies of 2025.
Doing a lot of homework, I imagine, for our next episode.
Trying to play catch up on some stuff. I watched Him, which will not be making any list.
It could make a list, maybe not a good list. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It could be something. Yeah, but I watched it. I watched Him. I don't know if anybody really needs to watch that movie.
It's funny. I feel like you had stopped partway through watching, and you're like, I don't understand. And then you text me.
It's not great, but I don't understand why it's rated as lowly as it is. But then it ended, and now I realize why it's rated where it's at.
It all settled into place.
It's kind of it's the marketing material. They did a good job of marketing the movie. They did a very good job of marketing the movie. I was pretty excited to watch it, and I was disappointed.
Could be on a list. We'll see.
Could be on a list. We'll see.
Find out next week, roughly.
What else have we watched? I finished the football show. I don't know if Chad Powers.
Chad Powers. I don't know if you had finished it. I think you had just started it. Maybe two or three episodes in on the Stranger Things episode. So you finished it. It's short. So, and shorter episodes, and it's 6 episodes. You can fly through that as fast as you really want.
Sarah wasn't a big fan of the ending. Okay. I don't hate the ending. I just obviously with the ending that we got, obviously I want more. Because
we're getting more. I think they just started shooting just maybe a couple weeks ago. So.
Good. All right. Then
it's coming back for more.
Okay, it's totally fine. We're in a couple weeks of The Pitt. The Pitt is a fabulous show. I cannot recommend The Pitt enough. It's one of the best shows on television right now, hands down, guaranteed. Watch The Pitt. There's, I don't know if season two hasn't got to where season 1 was at. You know what I mean? But it's the beginning,
probably pretty early, right? Yeah, we a few episodes in now at this point.
Yeah, and it's still riveting television. Very much recommend it. Season 1 is outstanding. Incredible television. I mean, it's some of the best television I think I've seen in a long time. Very good.
Well, I think that's liable to come up in a week as well.
The first season?
Yeah, that started in January
for real?
2025. So
holy shit,
it's eligible. It's eligible for our year in review.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, I might be talking about The Pit.
Maybe. No way to know. I mean,
no way to know. I mean, I gotta really. I didn't know that was 2025. So we gotta see what else is in the year.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah.
What else do we have? I know I've watched some other movies, but I can't recall them. It's all in preparation for the best year movies of the year. I started. You know what I started? This is why I think I'm more disappointed in him. I started a show called Train Spotting. Train something or another on Netflix. It's nominated for best cinematography and
Train Dreams, right?
Train Dreams. Yeah, I started that and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do Him instead. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of movie. And then I watched Him and it was dumpster fire kind of shit. So I'm like, I probably should have watched the other movie. But
heard good things about it, but I haven't quite made it around to that one myself yet. So
yeah, I got a couple period movies I got to watch and stuff. So. Very much looking forward to catching up on the rest of the movies I'd never caught in 2025. Bennett's potty trained, which is awesome. He's been potty trained now for about a month, so very minimal accidents. Bennett's fish died tonight.
Oh no!
Bluey died.
Oh no, Bluey.
Yeah, no. We took Bluey to the toilet.
Bennett's first brush with death, perhaps.
Bluey died. Bluey died.
Oh no!
Bluey is dead. He's sleeping the long sleep, and he's got to go. He's got to go away. It's time for him to go away. And we flushed him down the toilet. And Sarah said he's going to the big ocean, and Bennett says, "Big ocean, big ocean." And yeah, Bluey's going away to the big ocean. Shark eat him? No, shark's in the big ocean, buddy. He's going away. So yeah, that was an interesting way. We had to navigate that. He seems totally okay with it. He wasn't totally. He cried a little bit. Especially after we flushed him down the toilet and we started to walk back out, and he ran back in to check on him, and he wasn't there anymore because we flushed him down the toilet.
Oh man! Fuck!
He said, "Bluey gone, Bluey gone."
Oh no! Oh man.
Bluey's gone, buddy. No, he was kind of upset.
Well, that's tough.
That happened tonight.
Yeah, no, that's a tough deal.
But I don't know. I finished my mill deck in the Administration of Subjugation and Suppression, my ass deck, if you will.
Okay. Getting some whiplash here, but yeah, go ahead. Sure.
I finished it. So it's done now. I got all my cards in. So that's done. It's cool.
Cool. Very cool.
And that's it. That's all I got, dude.
All right. I got three things for you.
Okay.
I got three things. Well, I have a lot of things that I could talk about, but most of those are homework for the next episode, and I think they're all probably... Everything I've watched, I will say, I think will come up in some capacity. I don't know exactly where, but, I haven't watched any clunkers. I think, like...
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, nothing that's like a, I haven't... I don't know. I've watched some things I think that may very well crack the top 10, overall. I've watched some things that probably won't, but maybe have other things to say about them. But that's all for next episode. So I'm going to reserve my time here to talk about three things that I will not be talking about on the next episode. First of which is a show that Anna wanted to start watching called Letterkenny. I don't know if you've heard of this or watched any Letterkenny in your time. It's a Canadian sitcom. Very, very
I've
Canadian.
Heard of that.
It's very funny. Very Canadian, but very funny. Show about people in rural Ontario who, just live in this small town of Letterkenny, and it's about what shenanigans the people of Letterkenny are getting up to. It's sort of our Always Sunny replacement. It's not quite. It's definitely not as raunchy or out there, and the people in it are definitely better people than the Always Sunny crew, but it is kind of filled that void. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny and very entertaining. Very quotable. We've been quoting at each other using our Canadian accents and stuff, and everything that it's all about. And it's been pretty fun. I would say I recommend it. I think it's on Hulu. It's very, very Canadian, a very specific thing. The reason that she wanted to start watching it is because it, I think, was co-created maybe by the guy who has gone on to create a spinoff of the show called Shoresy, which was kind of focused on like junior hockey players. And then that guy went on to do a show that has taken the world by storm by the name of Heated Rivalry, which I imagine you've at least
I've heard of that.
Something about. It's a hockey show about a secret gay romance between two hockey players, like rival hockey players. And like that's fucking everywhere. So we wanted to go do the full deep dive, go to Letterkenny, and then go to its spinoff with Shoresy, and then jump into Heated Rivalry. But Letterkenny is like, it's like 10 seasons. It's a lot, but they're all pretty short. They're like 6 apiece, and there's some specials and stuff like that. So it's very funny, very off kilter. Enjoy it a lot. Good fun. I don't know if it's like a hard recommend because I think it's a very specific kind of thing. But I think you watch a couple episodes and you know if it's your sort of thing or not. And if it's not, like, fine. You know what I mean? So, other than that, that's it on the movie TV side of things. I read a book. I finished reading a book. I talked about it last time. I finished reading Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So I've now joined the club. I've joined the book club. This is like the first time. You and Enrique always have your fucking book clubs, and I'm always like, I don't have time to read all that shit. The fucking Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy that you guys did for whatever that fucking Netflix show was. I already forgot.
Three Body Problem.
Three Body Problem, that's it. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to wade into those waters. I think I'm good. Project Hail Mary, though.
Those are deep waters, I promise you.
Yeah, maybe too deep for me. Project Hail Mary was a very, very fun read, very enjoyable read, very, I don't know, just really good, fun blend of science and adventure and, I don't know, humanity, sort of thing.
Refreshing.
Yeah, it was really, really, yes. Humanity coming together. What a concept. Impossible. I know how unrealistic it is now, but it's nice to dream. And it's well written. It's funny. I think it's entertaining. I think, did you do the audiobook for it? I've heard really good things about the audiobook, and I don't know exactly how they handle, like, there's a musical sort of nature to it, without spoiling things too directly.
They I thought it was pretty
I've heard good things, so.
Yeah, I thought it was really good how they did the audiobook. They it was like a performance oriented audiobook.
Yeah, it seems like it could be, because most of the narrative is like internal dialogue, from your character who's kind of stuck out in space on his own. And then, I think that the way that it's written, I think I enjoyed reading it, but I could see the audiobook being a very good experience. I'm very excited for the movie with Ryan Gosling coming out in March. We'll talk about it on our 2026 A Look Ahead episode. I know we talked about it on the Stranger Things episode. I think Ink to Film has that as one of their projects. So I'm really excited to listen to their episodes, both on the book and the movie. And I think this feels like a must watch to me. I think it's probably one we'll have to cover for the pod. So I really enjoyed the book. I would recommend it. Very, very fun. And then following up on another thing I mentioned on the Stranger Things episode, I started Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I had technically started it. Yes, the video game, the PS5 video game. I had technically started it when James brought it up and recommended it, but I was like basically partway through the prologue section before the game really gets going in any sort of meaningful way. And so I'm like 5 hours in, so I'm still pretty early on, but shit has hit the fan in terms of like where the story has gone and in a big way. And, it's now getting to the point where you can explore the world and you're meeting party members and stuff like that in true RPG fashion. So, it's beautiful. The game is beautiful. The design of it, the music's really nice. The voice acting is good. It's Charlie Cox, I think I might have mentioned, who plays the lead character. I think Andy Serkis is in it in some capacity, maybe the villain. I don't actually know, because I'm not sure. I think I've seen that character, but not interacted with him a ton. Let's put it that way. It's really good so far. The battle mechanics are interesting because it is a turn-based RPG, but it's got a real-time parry / dodge mechanic component to it. So it's not totally mindless, and it is very timing, and I'm still working on getting my timing kind of right on it. But it's pretty engaging, like all around.
Is it a good Portal game?
So I'm not sure. I haven't tried anything on the Portal. I think I have read that the timing of the dodging and parrying can be difficult on the Portal because of the little bit of lag that you get from the remote play. So that could be an issue, but it might just depend on your Wi-Fi potentially. If you have a nice solid stream, then it might be fine, or you can kind of adjust your timing and kind of figure it out. I'm not sure. I booted it up on the Portal just to play around with it and see how it was, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go upstairs and play it on the big screen, because I was by myself at that point. There was no reason not to. I was just like, I'll just go up 2 flights of stairs. I'll be fine. That's good. I'm enjoying it so far and want to put more time into it. But been watching a lot of other stuff that I can't talk about here. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I have on my little catching up section.
I have to say,
yeah,
I did finish Animal Farm.
Oh, the book. Yes.
Yeah, the book. I have to say that while I enjoyed 1984 for its sci-fi dystopian things, I think the Animal Farm is while like presenting the same issues and the same stuff, it does it in kind of like not really fairy tale, but more like a parable kind of situation.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And I think it makes it digestible in a way that 1984 isn't.
Okay,
it makes it certainly shorter, which is cool. It's pretty breezy to listen to. And I really enjoyed Animal Farm. Animal Farm's some good shit, dude.
Well, can't wait to talk about the trailer for the movie coming out in 2026. For real. But that's a future episode.
Oh,
it's going to be a conversation, that's for sure.
How about that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think now that you say that, I think I knew that, but maybe I didn't know that. I don't know. Anyways,
I think we've talked about the existence of a trailer. I think it's probably fair to say you have not watched a trailer yet. And I say that confidently because I think if you had seen a trailer for it, you would have thoughts that you wouldn't be able to hold in. Let's put it that way.
Well, I know what I'll be looking up after this podcast ends. I did finish that, and I started. So my father-in-law started Hail Mary, and he finished it, and then my recommendation. I very much enjoyed it. He's looking forward to the movie, and then he listened to the 4th edition of a. It's I don't know if it's kind of like a self-help book, but I guess it's kind of considered that. Leadership and Self-Deception. He had read it a couple times before, a couple of other editions and stuff, and he recommended that I listen to it. I think it could apply to my things at work, and the people I work with could probably use a read of the book as well. So he recommended it. I'm listening to it. I just started it, and it seems like it could be interesting. I've only ever listened to one other self-help book, and it was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and I found that book helpful. So we'll see what this one's all about.
All right.
So that's what book I'm listening to right now. But either way, I think that might conclude.
I think it will conclude things. It will conclude matters for us. I think that's what I've got. I think that's what we've both got. So
that's what we got.
But thank you for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please spread the word. We are on Patreon at patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat. $2 a month will get you early access to all of our regular episodes, as well as timed exclusive access to any bonus episodes that we cook up for you guys in 2026. I think we certainly will hope to record more than one this year. We're about a month in. We haven't recorded one yet, but I think it's maybe doable to do. I don't know.
Every day gets easier.
I don't know. One every. I don't want to say quarter. That might be optimistic, but I don't know. I think what it is, and I think we did a good job of it when we did the epics, was like reining it in. Let's do one movie. Let's do 2 movies, stuff like that. I think that was kind of a good model that, might be more feasible potentially. So we don't have anything. We don't have anything set right now, but we feel good. We did the 300 one. Now it's not on the regular feed just now. So it's like, all right, okay. We've hit our quota for a little bit, but we'll get back at it. We'll brainstorm. We'll get back at it. Don't worry. But anyway, patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat if you want to be the first to get access to everything. Watch Review Repeat. That's the way to do it. Our website, otherwise, is watchreviewrepeat.com. That has all of our, available episodes up on it. Access to all of our social media accounts that we are on. We are on facebook.com/watchreviewrepeat. We are on Instagram at watchreviewrepeat. We're on Blue Sky, watchreviewrepeat.bsky.social. We are on YouTube as well. I don't mention it a lot, but something that came up in Stranger Things 5, Ink to Film, that talked about how much success they've had on YouTube, and we put all of our episodes up on YouTube. We don't show our faces. We don't record the video. It's just audio, and you get to look at the pretty episode art that we make. But we are on YouTube as well. If that's the way you consume things, then that's an option. We try to make ourselves available pretty much anywhere possible. No reason not to. So yeah, check us out there as well. And if you want to be on a part of the listener's corner on a future episode, well, I guess twofold. I'll get into that in a second. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, just generally speaking, you've got something to say, you can send it our way to watchreviewrepeat@gmail.com. What I will say specifically is if you have thoughts on anything, generally speaking, just send them our way. It may not be on the next couple episodes because we're kind of at that point where we're doing our year in review and we're doing our look ahead episodes. But what I will say is if you have very specific thoughts about your favorite movies, favorite TV shows, anything else that stuck out to you in 2025, things you're really looking forward to in 2026, now is a really good time to send us thoughts on those things, because then we can include them on a listener's corner of the 2025 or 2026 episodes, basically. So would be very happy to include user submissions for favorites of 2025, but time is limited on that, so act on that quickly. We will probably be recording in the next weekish or so from now, so I don't know when that is relative to when this episode's out, but either way, I'll have time in editing to add it in there if I need to. If you write in, we'll make it work, and if it doesn't happen, then it'll be in a later episode, no worries. So anyway, soliciting those things now. Our intro and outro track is Mechanolith by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. No surprises where we're headed next. We will be doing our 2025 A Year in Review episode first, and then we'll follow that up with our 2026 A Look Ahead. I think last year we recorded those in backwards order. I don't know if we will do the same thing this year. I think we're going to be recording both of those in February at this point, so we might do it sequentially. I think we might have had enough time. We'll see. We'll talk about it when we finish up here. But that's the game plan. That's what we've got, and then we will turn our attention to whatever the fuck 2026 has to offer us. We're missing out on all the January stuff, but maybe we'll go back and catch up. I really don't know. That's a conversation after we have another conversation. Let's put it that way. So we'll be watching stuff. We'll watch Project Hail Mary. I can tell you that. We'll watch
the Odyssey. I promise.
We'll watch the Odyssey. That's two things we can lock in right now. Everything else, who knows? Maybe Avengers. Maybe Dune 3. Maybe we can lock those in. But
we can lock those in as well. Big year.
Big year. We got some good stuff. We'll talk about it. And we got lots of good stuff in 2025 to talk about too. So, Andrew, I think I'm set. If you want to take our listeners out, last content of 2025.
Take care now. Bye then.
Later's on the Menche.